warm welcome to you. You are back here on campus after such a long time. Firstly, I would like to ask you, how does it feel to be on that side of the stage, receiving the Distinguished Alumnus Award and inspiring so many youngsters who are sitting in the audience?
So before I answer that question, actually, I was back here for the 25th reunion. And then after that, I think 3 or 4 years in a row, I came back to address the PGPX. So, and it's always a pleasure coming back. And that's why my ending statement was, it's always good to be back home. I think it was a surprise when I got the email. I was like, is it a spam mail? Let me look up the address, and is someone trying to do phishing, whatever. It took some time to sink in. And, this is one of the milestones which you don't, this is actually like getting an Oscar award where, you actually achieved something, and getting recognized by your alma mater. I don't think there's a better thing than that.
Yes. So, from your years at PepsiCo, Whirlpool, and now Tata Consumer Products, what key leadership lessons have you developed that has helped you navigate such large-scale changes and sustain growth across diverse markets?
So, I would refer to the talk which Swamiji gave, right? A lot of it resonated, especially the one about the karma and not looking at the results. I think the critical piece across when you want to drive change and transformation, you got to figure out the end goal, right? What do you want to achieve? And then relentlessly go down that path. Things will go pluses, minuses, you'll have ups and downs. You'll have people working with you, you'll have people, the naysayers. As long as you stay focused and you keep driving towards that piece, right? That's number one. Number two, again, it came out in that talk, right? It's all about people, right? It's all about, I think he made a statement about what Rusi Modi said, right? I forgot the exact words which he said, was energetic, enthusiastic, and ability to learn, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, and he did say it doesn't need an MBA, but I do think MBA gives you proper, at least the background to start off with. But that apart, I think getting, I call a few good men who are again willing to see that picture with you and willing to work with you. I think that's the second part. Third most important part is having good bosses and people having your back. Because especially when you drive these large-scale transformations, you will have a lot of rough rides. You'll have people pushing in all different directions. Not everything goes right. Everyone is waiting for something to go amiss and then poke you. But having someone watch your back is the most important thing. And I've always had good bosses and boards which said, go for it.
It's just amazing to hear the importance of having the right kind of people around you, because we have been talking to other awardees as well, and this is something which keeps coming up, and definitely for us that would be one of the key things that we would take away. And so coming back to the questions, today's consumers expect brands to stand for something beyond products. How does Tata Consumer integrate purpose, sustainability, and innovation into its business strategy?
On a lighter note, I think the 4 letters TATA do all that for me, right? I don't need to explain trust, integrity, authenticity, transparency to an Indian consumer with those words. So let me put it this way. One of my most successful businesses which I built up in the last 5 years is a brand called Tata Sampann. It's into pantry staples. And what we identify is exactly among various other things, right? Size of category, margin, growth rate, etc. We said trust deficit, right? If it's a trust deficit, then we go into that, and it satisfied the other, we go in there. We started at 200 crores. I think this year will be about 1,500 crores. In 5 years, it's 7x. Primarily because you build trust, authenticity, etc. So, but again, with that entire thing comes responsibility. Like Chandra says, Sunil, the single biggest asset that we've got is this 4 letters, right? Nothing that you do should even put a small stain on it. So there are very many, at times there are tough actions which you would want to take, but you would not, you'll step back because it's not the right thing to do. I think that again, it came out, ethics came out very, very clearly in the talk. The entire talk, resonated with me completely because, you need a foundation. He said, dharma, karma, then it's in that order, right? Unless you have a foundation of ethics, integrity, and this thing, you cannot build the superstructure.
So during the conversation, we were talking about how profitability might not go in sync, but after listening to you, it feels that that question itself was invalidated, as was the answer given by Swamiji. And this is one of the few companies which embody and it's a living example of how the business can integrate all these values that are being stated.
So this is one of the guiding principles which we follow, right? This is Ratan Tata's statement, right? When he had one of the first things that he had when he took over was you should read about it, the Tata Motors strike, right? And he went through the entire piece, took a tough but fair stance, and his whole thing was the guiding principle that he used through the entire thing is you don't have to be nice, but you have to be fair. Right? So in anything and everything that you see the group doing, and therefore us doing in sync, is this piece.
That is equity. So the next question, as someone who has led some of India's most respected consumer brands, what advice would you offer to IIM Calcutta students aspiring to lead both with impact and integrity in a rapidly changing world?
So the first, I think I said it in my words. Number one is being in IIM Calcutta is a necessary but not sufficient condition, right? So it's not that you got through IIM Calcutta, so everything will come to you on a platter. No. Then you move out into the outside world and then everything else has to fall into place, right? This is the basics. Everything else, whether it is integrity, hard work, dedication, and the single-minded drive, again, which came out in Swamiji's this thing, right? You've got to have a very, very clear drive on what it is. So that has to come in, number one. Number two is again, my point is, as you make your choices in various businesses, I think the critical piece is you've got to be happy with doing this thing. Don't chase the latest fad, right? During my time, it was investment banking. Somewhere there was consulting. Then there is whatever. It's different things, right? But you got to decide what makes you happy. Don't jump for the latest fad, because somewhere along you will not be happy because that is not your cup of tea, right? So always chase your dream on what makes you happy. Stay the course. Ultimately, you'll get there. As I said, it's a marathon. It's not 100 meters.
Thank you. And one last question. Which emerging trends do you believe will be most significant in reshaping how consumer businesses operate in the next decade?
I would say primarily 3 things. It's convenience, health and wellness, and all things digital, right? So, and if you operate at the confluence of these trends, you've got a winning model. You look at this thing, the channels are shifting rapidly. Quick commerce was nothing. Depends on which company you talk to, it's nearly double digit. So if you dial back, when I passed out, it was distribution and general trade, which was everything. Today, that's only part of the game. You've got to be online, you've got to be digital, you've got to be delivering double quick. All those pieces will become important. No one used to read labels when I passed out, right? Now the first thing which consumers read is the back of the label. So clean products, natural, organic, all that kind of stuff matters. And today's consumer doesn't have patience. I think I like the attention span, right? This is, people will keep moving from one page to the other. Similarly, when they want something, they want it now, right? I'm not saying it's all online, but you got to be available. No one is going to come looking for you because people have got choices.
And any parting words for the IIM Calcutta community?
You're in a great place, right? Take advantage of the 2 years. Make your best friends. They'll stay with you for life. They'll be your biggest competitors come placement time, right? Because no one wants to let the other person go ahead. But you will have a lifetime of friends out here. But coming out of here, remember you've got the IMC seal on your back. As long as you do everything right, you've got a head start in life.
Thank you so much.